Quiz time. How many chromosomes are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4. How many chromosomes are here? Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8. Are chromosomes duplicated or unduplicated? Right here they are duplicated. 4 duplicated chromosomes. Are chromosomes duplicated or unduplicated here? They are unduplicated. What stage of mitosis is this? That's metaphase. That one's anaphase because they're pulling apart. Okay, telophase. Chromosomes are at opposite poles by telophase. So they were here at the equator and then they got pulled apart and now they're here forming 2 new nuclei. So we can't call them sister chromatids anymore because they're apart. The spindle disassembles. The whole thing with telophase is you get back to normal. So the spindle fibers go away. The nuclear envelope forms around each set of chromosomes. So here's the new nuclear envelope forming. Centrioles go away. Chromosomes decondense, which means that they, or uncoil, which means that they spread out. So you really go back to normal. And the nucleolus is made again. So since the DNA is spread out, it makes RNA, which can make a nucleolus. And that's it. Quiz time. During which phase of the cell cycle is DNA copied? That would be during the synthesis phase, right here. But the synthesis is part of interphase. Ooh, and that one's right here. Good, good. During which phase of the cell cycle are chromosomes in an unduplicated form? Let's see. They're just made, so in gap 1, I would say. And then there's synthesis, and then there's prophase, metaphase, so anaphase, and telophase. That's it. Here we go. In which phase of the cell cycle are chromosomes in a condensed form? So that's going to be all of the mitosis things. So you're going to have prophase is when they start to condense. That one really too. Metaphase, anaphase, and then in telophase they decondense, but they start condensed. So in this one they start uncondensed and they condense. In this one they start condensed and they uncondense. In these two they're always condensed. In which parts of the cell cycle are the chromosomes spread out? Well, that would be gap 1 and gap 2 in synthesis. And let's see, they start that way here and end that way here, but I think I'm probably not going to do that. During which phase of the cell cycle do chromosomes line up in the middle of the nucleus? That's only metaphase. During which phase of the cell cycle do the kinetochores of chromosomes break and the chromosomes are pulled apart? That's anaphase. You should be pausing this as you go, hopefully. During which phase of the cell cycle do chromosomes start to condense? Prophase. During which phase of the cell cycle do chromosomes start to decondense? Telophase. Section 8, cytokinesis, means the division of the cytoplasm. So that's this. You've just done mitosis, and now you're going to split the cells themselves. So division of the cell into 2 identical or near identical halves called daughter cells. So the daughter cells have identical DNA and pretty similar rest of them too. In plant cells, a cell plate forms at the equator to divide the cell. And so there's the cell plate forming, and that's going to be a cell wall with cell membranes on either side. In animal cells, something called a cleavage furrow forms to split the cell. And so this isn't a good picture. I have a good picture later, but the cells are coming in here. They're indenting, and you're going to make break. Cell membranes will be made right in here. So the difference here is that you've got a cell wall for the plant, and so it's a little bit different. So this is a cleavage furrow in an animal cell. And here you can see little bubbles. This is the cell wall forming. It's called a cell plate. And it looks like this until they keep growing until they join together. So there's a cell plate in plant cells. It's kind of cool. Identical daughter cells result from mitosis and cytokinesis. So there's your cell, called the parent cell or the mother cell, and you make 2 identical daughter cells. Sorry, guys. Daughter cells of mitosis. They have the same number of chromosomes as each other, and also the same as the parent cell. So you have a cell that started out with 46 chromosomes, and it underwent mitosis. And at the end, you get two cells, each of them with 46 chromosomes, identical to each other, identical to the parent cell. So they're identical to each other, but smaller than the parent cell. The DNA is identical, though. They have to grow in size to become mature, and that happens during the G1 phase of interphase. Quiz time. In plant cytokinesis, which forms? And the answer here is cell plate, because it makes a cell wall. Why can't plants make a cleavage furrow during cytokinesis? They do not have the centrioles, they have a cell wall, their cell membranes are made out of cellulose. The answer here is they have a cell wall. Which is another name for mitosis. Okay, so with mitosis, you're separating the DNA. Karyo is nucleus, so karyokinesis. Cytokinesis is just separating the cytoplasm. Oops, I don't want you to skip that. I want you to have that. So G0, this is a resting phase where the cell has left the cell cycle and has stopped dividing. So if you remember the whole cycle, you've got interphase. This whole entire thing is interphase. And so you've got gap 1, synthesis, gap 2, and then the stages of mitosis are here. And that's PMAT. And then, sorry, it's a bad picture. And then here's where you have cytokinesis. So if you do cytokinesis and it's a nerve cell, let's say, and it's not going to end up dividing again, so it's not going to do all this, it'll just go right into the G0 phase. And it's going to rest for the rest of its life in this phase for the most part. So I don't know if this will show up on your on the screen capture, but review of mitosis, there's prophase, here's metaphase, here's anaphase. I'm not doing it fast enough. Telophase. Okay, so here's a review. Oops. Uh-oh, I think I did it now. Okay. So here's interphase. You can tell because nothing is condensed. Here's prophase. Here's late prophase. You can call it pro-metaphase because it's sort of between them if you want, but they're not lined up in the middle yet. But you can see the nuclear envelopes disappeared. The centrioles have migrated to either side. The spindle fibers are attached to the chromosomes, and they're getting there. Here's metaphase, where they're lined up with the middle. Here's anaphase, when the sister chromatids have separated. Now that you have to call them chromosomes instead. Whoops. And here's telophase, where you have the nuclear membrane starting to form again, and here's the beginning of cytokinesis. Name each stage you see as it occurs. So there's prophase, because it's condensing. And then here's late prophase, because the centrioles are separating out. Late prophase. Here's metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Hip, hip. Okay, so you'll look at this in lab, or I'm going to give them to you in sheets like this. And what I want to know is what's in what stage. So that would be, for example, interphase, because you can't see any chromosomes. Here's prophase, because you can see the chromosomes starting to condense. Here's metaphase, and here's metaphase. There's another good metaphase. Here's a metaphase. The chromosomes are lined up at the middle. You can see with this one, the chromosomes are separating out. Here's another nice anaphase. So the chromosomes are separating out for anaphase. And then in telophase, you can see it's two separate nuclei, and you're starting to form that cell plate for cytokinesis. Name the mitotic stages. So interphase is not a mitotic stage. Okay, so let's name them. Prophase is this first one. Metaphase is when they're in the middle. Anaphase is when they're pulling apart. And telophase is when you're getting two new nuclei. And here's cytokinesis. Name this. That's the equator. Name this. That's the cleavage furrow. Mitosis in an onion root tip. Do you see any of the stages of mitosis? Okay, so don't see any chromosomes. That's interphase, which, that's not even mitosis. Okay, let's do mitosis. Condensed chromosomes, prophase. Let's see any in the middle. That one's in the middle. Mitosis, metaphase. Yeah, I'd probably call that in the middle too. Look at this anaphase being pulled apart. And then telophase, it's hard to see. Maybe here and then late right here, I think. That one's anaphase. That one, they don't look condensed. So yeah, interphase. This one is prophase because they're starting to condense, and the centrioles are starting to move apart too. This one they're lined up in the middle, so that's the easy one. That's metaphase. This one, the chromosomes have already separated. They're in two different areas, and you're even starting cytokinesis. So I would call this telophase for the stage of mitosis, and then it's also beginning of cytokinesis, which is the stage after mitosis. This one, they are condensing, so that would be prophase. And that's very late telophase, because they're almost two cells, and advanced cytokinesis. And this one is prophase again, because they're condensed. And this one is late anaphase, because they're pulling apart. All right. Interphase, prophase, 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 metaphase, anaphase, anaphase, telophase, telophase. So early, middle, and late prophase. Name these: prophase, metaphase, anaphase. And then we have late anaphase, and telophase, and late telophase. Movies, 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 movies. This is anaphase, that's metaphase, that's prophase. So hopefully you'll be able to go through this and just be able to do them all. That's telophase. That is prophase and late prophase. Metaphase. And would you call this anaphase or telophase? Yeah, I don't know. They kind of roll together. I don't know. I think I'd call it anaphase. Telophase. Telophase, because you can see you're already getting your cell plate in there, and you've got two very distinct nuclei. And oh, sorry, the question is this in a plant cell or an animal cell? And the answer is, of course, a plant cell because you're making a cell wall. There's no cleavage furrow. This one is an animal cell because you see a cleavage furrow. There's no cell wall there. Okay, that's it for mitosis. We finished the whole thing.